Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do.
Hey Dan, thanks for having me. I'm Eli Bank, one of the co-founders of Absurd Snacks. We are a snacking company based in Richmond, Virginia, and started out of a need for more inclusive snacks that are delicious, nutrient-rich, and more inclusive of folks with common food
Awesome.
allergies.
So I'm curious more about your background. Have you been in this space for a while? What made you want to go and start this business?
We actually started Absurd Snacks as a senior year class project in our undergrad program at the University of Richmond. We had friends and family and a classmate specifically who had severe allergies and really struggled to find safe snacks. And Grace, my co-founder, and I, as individuals without allergies, are on this mission of creating a platform for more inclusive snacking. So snacks that we can enjoy and enjoy together, snacks that pull up a seat for everyone at the table, regardless of dietary restrictions.
Makes sense. Well, I'm curious. Obviously, it's one thing to get this idea in college, and you guys are in school. So how did you actually go and formulate this product that you started in the kitchen? What did that whole process kind of look like?
Yeah, so we were in a bit of a controlled environment because it was a part of a class project, but it was Grace's brainchild. She had been roasting chickpeas in her air fryer in her college dorm for a number of years, throwing in different spices and ingredients to make a nutrient powerhouse. She was a college athlete, so having nutrient-dense, easy-to-eat foods on the go was really important for her. And that was kind of what inspired what became Absurd Snacks. So we tried roasting a number of beans and other ingredients. We ended up with this really delicious, addicting blend of crunchy roasted chickpeas, crispy granola clusters, and later added some dried fruit. So it gives it a really nice variety of taste and texture. We have a savory variety as well as a sweet variety, but both are a little sweet and a little salty, which makes it really addicting. And it fills a gap in the market because it's a snack that almost emulates the experience of eating a nut without being a nut, but it's also gluten-free, dairy-free. So we're kind of at that cross-section of functional snacking with inclusive snacking. I'm creating simple, nutrient-rich foods that pull up a seat for everyone.
So in the very beginning, were you kind of handing it out on campus? How did you kind of go go to market with your products?
So we first had to figure out where we could make it. So we started making it at a commercial kitchen here in Richmond, and then we popped up at farmers markets. So we would show up around Richmond, meet people face to face, get reviews and testimonials and feedback, gather as much data as we could. And then we started hitting some local grocery stores, just going into the mom and pop shops and seeing who would give us a shot. A lot of people really resonated with our story, and Richmond's a big local maker town. The community here really thrives on small business, and we quickly noticed how supportive of a place it would be to get up and running. And then after we realized that it had some legs and this was a real opportunity and gap in the market, that a lot of people were in need of more functional, allergy-friendly snacks, we decided to take it on full time after graduating from university.
That's awesome. So in terms of the functional aspect, can you just share with our audience what that means? What are some of the functions that are within the products?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about functional snacks, we're talking about healthy, nutrient-forward ingredients. So foods that really add a benefit to your diet and your pantry. So for us, we are really proud to pack 7 grams of plant-based protein in every serving. Our servings are about a half a cup. We also do 5 to 6 grams of dietary fiber, which is 3 times more than what your average snack mix would include. And then we're able to pack that sweetness, but it's all natural sweetness. So we have about half of the sugar or a third of the sugar of your average snack mix. And it just comes from pure maple syrup and naturally sweetened dried fruit. So it's sugar that you can feel good about eating. It packs a ton of nutrients, and then as well as a complex carbohydrates. So it really fuels you. It's a snack that you can eat between meals or as a complement to your meal to get some extra nutrients. A lot of people will eat it by the handful, but other people use it as a crunchy topper. So we have our maple cinnamon flavor that we'll throw on yogurt or ice cream. Our rosemary is really delicious on a salad, but it's really adding more to your diet than just a a vessel for flavor. So it's that nutrients that it's able to provide you in your diet that makes it so special.
For sure. And obviously, like when you went to go and launch the product, I'm sure that you guys have like one ideal customer in mind. But what did you kind of see when you started like, handing it out to people or selling it at farmers markets? Like who's like your typical customer today?
Yeah, we kind of separate our customers into a few buckets. Allergies do affect 35 million Americans directly, but what's really fascinating to us is that there's more money spent on allergen-free food by what we call like an allergy-adjacent consumer. So someone who has an allergy in their home, whether it's a family member, a roommate, a friend, etc. Customers typically are more active, health-conscious individuals who are looking for foods with simple, clean ingredients, who are looking for snacks that not only taste good, but also serve that function in their diet. And so they're trying to avoid empty calories. So where we typically aggregate is, like your healthier, natural grocery stores. And we sell regionally right now with Whole Foods in the Mid-Atlantic, and they've kind of been a cornerstone account for us because their consumer is so health conscious. And we love to do pop-ups and partnerships and athletic events like running races, cycling races. In a few weeks, we'll be at a big tennis tournament up in DC, which we're super excited about. So popping up at sporting events has been a great way for us to get in touch with that community and try and meet that cross section where
awesome. And then in terms of like physical retail, obviously like getting in the store is one thing, but actually like getting sales, there's a whole different thing. So how have you like kind of gone about getting people to go and buy your product and try your product?
Yeah. In terms of buying the product, we first work directly with the grocery stores, trying to help them understand our mission. And we've been able to find a pretty decent sized community that we continue to grow of stores and retail partners that really believe in what we're doing and are looking for more inclusive options, especially as the customer demand grows for it. We do a ton of demos and samplings in our stores. I think from day one, we wanted to be a people first business in everything that we do. And so a big part of that is being in person, meeting face to face with customers, answering all the questions that they have, giving them an opportunity to try it and understand why we do what we do. And the product is able to speak for itself after that. So I think showing up in stores is something that a lot of founders, especially ones that are kind of growing outwardly facing, or growing publicly, are trying to do, to be able to give new customers and new community members an opportunity to try their products and join
awesome.
along.
And then in terms of channels, really, like, I mean, you were saying, for example, this like running events. Are you guys also looking at like other channels, online or even food service, you could say, where you're going to be maybe selling this product at sporting events? Like where else do you kind of see like this product being sold?
Yeah, thank you for asking. We definitely have dipped our toes in a couple of different channels, and it's interesting to see kind of the domino effect that food allergies can have on communities. One allergy can create demand for inclusive options for dozens, which is really fascinating to see. So in addition to retail stores, we've also had interest and sell with hotels, and we sell with hospitals and universities. Universities is a big one for us, especially because a lot of campuses are now going completely nut-free or looking to create entire dining halls or sections of dining halls that are dedicated to gluten-free, nut-free, allergy-friendly options. And so we're able to kind of be this one-size-fits-all solution for a number of consumers, regardless of their allergy. We are completely top 9 free. If you're not familiar with the top 9, there are 9 foods that the FDA declares the top 9, and those account for over 90% of all food allergies. So by being top 9 free, we're able to be inclusive of a vast majority of consumers with allergies and intolerances, which we're very proud to do. And then we've also began selling online, of course, the true spirit of being an inclusive and accessible snack. Being able to be purchased nationwide is really important to us. So we do sell online on our direct consumer website, absurdsnacks.com. And we are onboarding with Amazon right now. So we'll be on Amazon Prime in the coming weeks. Definitely keep an eye out for us on
Awesome.
there.
But do you see like your product, for example? I mean, I think that it could be sold in like schools, places like that, because to your point, there are so many kids today that have allergies now in 2025.
Yeah, it's interesting. We definitely, of course, want kids to be able to enjoy our snacks. Our maple cinnamon tends to be the fan favorite among a younger audience, but recent data shows that there are actually more adults in the US with food allergies than there are kids. And that is a big gap in the market. Is a lot of these other allergy friendly food companies are really focused on marketing towards kids because of the nature of, school systems going nut free and a need for alternatives to your typical peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which we all grew up on. But yeah, kind of where we play is a little bit more of a mature audience. We tend to resonate more with young adults, independent consumers who are doing their own shopping. And so as a part of our strategy, our go-to-market strategy of being able to pop up at events and in stores, we're really able to meet those consumers where they
Makes
are.
sense. Yeah, I think that is interesting because to your point, that's so true that many of these like allergy friendly brands are like all about kids, and like you guys have kind of like positioned yourself for people who are no longer kids, maybe that they obviously bought those products, like that their parents bought those products when they were growing up, but nowadays it's like, okay, now they can go themselves and go and buy it for themselves, for their family, etc.
Yeah,
So in terms
absolutely.
of like future plans, like do you guys look to launch like other products, like other flavors? Like what's kind of like on the roadmap right now?
Yeah, we are working on some new products. I can't share what they are yet. We're super excited about them. We actually just tried our V1 of our new recipes for said new products a few weeks back, and they're tasting really, really good. But long term, we want Absurd Snacks to be a household name across the US and beyond. When you think of inclusive snacking, we want Absurd Snacks to really be at the forefront. When we say inclusive snacking, it's they're food options that can be enjoyed by everyone, that check a lot of those boxes that you can have in your pantry and bring out when you're having friends, family, etc. over your house. And, you want something that everybody can enjoy together. So we hope to fill gaps in other aisles where there's white space and under allergy friendly eating is underrepresented. So hopefully we can do just that. And our crunch mixes are
So
paving
like
the
in
way.
terms of launching new flavors, new products, obviously you can't share kind of what they are, but how do you kind of decide, what those are going to be? Like, do you have conversation with customers or more so like market research? Like, what are you kind of looking at to go and make those decisions?
It's definitely a combination. We do gather a lot of customer data. Every time that we're in store doing a sampling, we have kind of a running document where we document all of that feedback we're getting from consumers. We're also talking to current consumers, so people that are ordering on our website, people that have been purchasing from stores and are following along our journey on social media will chime in the comments or send us DMs, letting us know what they'd love to see. That combined with where demand is on shelf and where the sales are leading and growing. And this next product line that we're looking to launch, hopefully late this year, early next year, will be definitely our number one most requested item by far. So we're super excited to be able to share it. Some new flavors, new textures, the whole nine. But it's really
And
exciting.
so, besides launching new products, obviously, I'm based in Texas, so I'm curious in terms of distribution, like in retail, kind of more across the country. Like, what are you guys kind of looking for in terms of targeting that?
Our growth strategy has definitely been what we call an inch wide and a mile deep. So trying to get as many touch points with sales within our geographic region as possible before really spreading our wings. And the reason for that is twofold. On one hand, we are a small but mighty team, and the support that we want to provide every store that we sell our snacks in can only reach so far with a small team. And as we grow, we want to make sure that we're maintaining that small brand feel. So we'll grow that community intentionally and the same way that we have here, but we really want to build up the demand and the excitement here before we continue to expand outwards. Having options like Amazon or our direct consumer website are really important to be able to connect with consumers who may see us online and not be able to run down to their local Whole Foods to buy us just yet. But by the time that we end up expanding our retail footprint beyond the walls of the Mid-Atlantic, we would love for the community to have grown to a point where we know that people will already be running to stores to get absurd snacks
And
for
then I guess like in
themselves.
terms of stores, right? Obviously you guys are kind of like in natural stores now, but do you view like your product being in more like Target, Walmart, let's like even gas stations? Like where do you kind of see that's like your product being sold?
Yeah, we could see a future where something like a Target would carry absurd snacks. We lean more towards a natural audience. So an account like Walmart would not be our first priority in the near term. It is amazing to be able to grow the business and take on new accounts, but we are very intentional with where we place our products and the partners that we work with. So we definitely are intentional about, not only where geographically we're placing them, but also what partners we're launching with as a part of that
Makes
growth
sense.
story.
So if you could go back in time to before you started this business, what is the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew?
That's a tough question. I think that a lot of food founders don't understand, which is impossible when you're just launching your first food company, but don't understand the nuances of how expensive this industry can be, and don't necessarily build their unit economics or pricing structures based off of what a business will inevitably look like at scale. I think that if there was a tool or a workshop or a crash course that new food founders could take on distributors and distribution pricing, as well as what the added costs of trade spend and marketing and sales support looks like at scale, it would be really helpful. But my piece of advice would be make sure that you're building in enough margins on your product so that you're making money now and not just later, and also take into consideration the added costs that will come into play when you start to grow, because with more growth always comes added expense, for better or for worse.
Awesome. Well, that's great advice. So if somebody's watching the show and if they wanted to either reach out to you directly or find your brand, do you mind sharing your website or social media channels?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely reach out. We always love to collab with other brands, other founders, and build our community and network. You could find us at absurdsnacks.com or absurd.snacks on all social platforms, and it's just us running it, so you'll find us there. But yeah, we'd love to connect. And again, thanks for having us on
Awesome.
the show.
Thanks so much as well.